G'day gang, welcome back to this week's Alliance Wars. We are matched up this time around against Phoenix Reborn, or PXR, so it is BSB versus PXR. Green tanks on their side, blue tanks on ours. It's a reasonably close war, or at least it was for most of the way through. It's sort of blown out a little bit towards the end here, so we do have a little bit of a lead now, but yeah, it's I tend to attack quite late in the midweek wars just with my work schedule and stuff, but 3-1-1 setup, first up against Winski. So I think all of what I hit actually is a Yumi tanks this time around, but as I said, 3-1-1, a Yumi did fire, which is unfortunate, as has now Hypernova. I did sacrifice Dragonfist in the hope that I'd be able to get Hypernova dead and get rid of the counterattack buff with the charge control, with the demolitions talent, but didn't quite work out. So unfortunately, Accent is now also gone. Senya hanging on there with a slither of health, and for like the first time I think this entire series, or at least this week since I joined BSB Legends, I actually got a revive from one of my Senyas. So yeah. Renegade just going to pick away at their health, and then, yeah, some nice ghosting going on. So a little bit of a favourable starting board. We did, as I said, manage to get rid of Ayumi, but she did fire her skill beforehand. So we managed to come back around and get the win. So first one, always good to start with a win. Yeah. Next up, we do have another Ayumi tank. This time we've got, I think it's like Robert Jag or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of weird symbols in there. Another Ayumi tank. Another Ayumi tank. And so I've gone with another 3-1-1 green setup. So this is something of a common combo now. So we've got Syntax and Pulse and Bunraku. So Bunraku speeds up essentially Syntax. And I've also gone with Mervanaya. I didn't really think about it at the time, but I have basically used 2 mindless attack heroes in this one fight, which I try to avoid doing, because it does then mean I'm limited on later fights. But as I said, I didn't really realize I'd done it until it was a bit late. So we are going to hope for the shell shock talent so we don't kill all of our reds, but if it is the case, then we obviously take a bit more damage. So have managed to wait out the counterattack buff, so I can charge up and fire Syntax, Pulse, and now Bunraku. So charge control on Ghost and Bunraku on the other side, and then managed to get Mare charged and did Insanity on the right side. So it is the benefit to having both Insanity heroes in this team, is I do get blanket Insanity if I manage to get them charged at the same time. So from this point, it is pretty well GG's. Once the double Insanity is going, it's pretty hard to... Okay, it's not impossible, but it is more difficult to lose from there. Admittedly, the dodging of an enemy hero can be a bit of a pain, but yeah, Dragonfist fell down and we got the second win. So third hit, it is another 3-1-1 setup. I started my recording a little bit late, but it is against Homicide, Ayumi tank, Sapphire, Hypernova, Bunraku, Vision. On my side of things, I've gone with the combination of Rudolph and Scarlet for that continuous damage over time, or damage each turn. And then I've also gone with Emerald for charge control and Dragonfist for charge cutting. So 2 sets of charge control in there. Unfortunately, Sapphire did manage to charge before I could get Emerald fired. Bit of a cascade that happened, which unfortunately meant I couldn't do it. And I didn't really realize it at the time, but Bunraku also reversed Emerald's effect. So what should have been a full charge to Emerald results in nothing. Fortunately, it doesn't really matter. I have the health just, and also the damage output from Scarlet and Rudolph to finish it off. But yeah, a little bit silly of me. I should have looked at it, but yeah. Emerald wasted a lot of green tiles in that fight. Next up, we have Phearless Phantom. So this is another 3-1-1 setup, and we've gone with what's her name? Jocasta, Ridge, and Rudolph for a good trio of damage. Nice, very friendly opening board. Managed to get a fair bit of damage off. Also charged Ridge. I had hoped that that was also enough to charge both Jocasta and Rudolph, but it was one tile short, unfortunately, so had to burn a couple more reds to get across the line. So fire Rudolph and Ridge, do a lot of damage there, and then going to use Jocasta just to remove the charge, stop that. Ridge applies to himself because he hits people too hard, apparently. Pulse, victim of mindless attack, and then we should get the kill there on Hex with the tiles. Vision unfortunately resisted or dodged the insanity element, so can't do much about it, but we do have at this point sufficient health to get us through. Do worry a little bit about firing off Amethyst a second time, but she managed to stay just under charge so that I could get the kill shot off with Fiddle. And yeah, so now it's just Vision in a 1v4, pretty hard for him to win. I just pick up this one last red match and the tile finishes him off. And that's the end of that fight. So we are 4 from 4 so far. Next up is Xinspire, a Yumi tank. So we've got another 3-1-1 setup. So we've gone this time around with Senya, Brock, and Tightwire as my 3 reds. So we do have an initial match 3 that we make, and then a match 4. Get the kill on a Yumi, but not quite enough to charge my heroes. That blue match was a little bit annoying because it did charge the enemy torrent, which took away my charge. Which is honestly probably the most irritating thing about torrent. The other effects, they don't really bother me too much, but yeah, losing your charge is pretty irritating. Benefit of Tightwire is that his dodge down ailment does count as an ailment, so it triggers Topaz's bonus damage. And then the final hero in this team is obviously Krampus, and the rationale was to steal all the buffs that heroes like what's her name, Bunraku and Yumi, steal those buffs and be able to just switch them over to my side. Hypernova was also in this defense, so stealing Hypernova's buff is also pretty awesome. But we didn't have to worry about that in this instance. 6th and final fight is against Gambler. I had the choice between Gambler and an ex-member, so elected to go with Gambler because I know their name, and I don't know who the ex-member was. They had a bit of a rough run, I think, which is unfortunate, but yeah, understandable. So 3-1-1 again. We've got Amethyst in as one of our 2-1s, and then also Venus. Nice little extra cascade there, which kind of got the kill on a Yumi, and sort of opened up that ghosting lane. Our 2 reds that are damage dealers, we've got another copy of Tightwire and also Sunbeam. So Sunbeam has the opportunity to bounce through the enemy team if there are buffs. So obviously there aren't any at the moment, so we didn't get that bounce. But she also does a defense down element, which is pretty hectic and crazy. And yeah, so get the kill shot on Pulse here, also get a recharge on Amethyst. This should kill Flak, except he dodges it, which is rather annoying, all things considered. But we do have another ghosted match 3 of purples up the middle, which we can take in the next turn, and that will get Amethyst charged once again. So Topaz goes and fires at Amethyst, as does Flak. The stealth buff does stop either of them from hitting me, and then we can just pick off everyone else with a couple tiles, and then a final shot from Sunbeam. So there we have it. All 6 war fights, all 6 successful, which is always a nice little bonus. So yeah, we see all 6 hits here. So we got Winski, RoboJab, Homicide, Phearless Phantom, Xinspire, and Gambler, and all combined that puts us up at 306 points, which was not enough to take out top spot. There were 4 people that got 6 from 6. Sweden took 1 clean, which is why her score is a little bit lower. So yeah, 6 flags remaining on ours, none on theirs, so this is another win for BSB Legends. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. Yeah, I hope your wars went well. Good luck, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video. Cheers, bye!